Motivating gets you going, and habit gets you there. Make motivating a habit, and you will get there more quickly and have more fun on the trip. The smallest change in perspective can transform a life. What tiny attitude adjustment might turn your world around? The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. To those who can dream, there is no such place as far away. It is our attitude at the beginning of a difficult task which, more than anything else, will affect its successful outcome. Don't be afraid of the space between your dreams and reality. If you can dream it, you can make it so. Some people have thousands of reasons why they cannot do what they want to, when all they need is one reason why they can. Happiness depends more on the inward disposition of mind than on outward circumstances. To reach our goal, we must sail, sometimes with the wind and sometimes against it. But we must sail and not drift, not lie at anchor. Your imagination is your preview to life's coming attractions. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. Nobody will believe in you unless you believe in yourself. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. Unremarkable lives are marked by the fear of not looking capable when trying something new. Change brings on the opportunity to do what you were too scared to attempt yourself. Our life always expresses the result of our dominant thoughts. Nothing's far when one wants to get there. You must tell yourself, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I'm going to make it. If you always give, you will always have. Many fine things can be done in a day if you don't always make that day tomorrow. It is necessary to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and to give thanks continuously. Happiness is an attitude of mind, born of the simple determination to be happy under all outward circumstances. The greatest gift you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance. You've got to get to the stage in life where going for it is more important than winning or losing. It's not what you do once in a while, it's what you do day in and day out that makes the difference. One of the secrets of a long and fruitful life is to forgive everybody everything every night before going to bed. Change is created by those whose imaginations are bigger than their circumstances. Understand that the right to choose your own path is a sacred privilege. Use it. Dwell in possibility. All that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. Accept no one's definition of your life, but define yourself. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. I really don't think life is about the I could have beens. Life is only about the I tried to do. I don't mind the failure, but I can't imagine that I'd forgive myself if I didn't try. At the worst, a house unkept cannot be so distressing as a life unlived. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. When defeat comes, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more toward your coveted goal. I take nothing for granted. I now have only good days or great days. In our daily lives, we must see that it is not happiness that makes us grateful, but gratefulness that makes us happy. If you can find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. So many fail because they don't get started. They don't go. They don't overcome inertia. They don't begin. If we only knew that we could have anything we wanted, we would set more goals. Nurture great thoughts, for you will never go higher than your thoughts. Press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. It has to start someplace. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now? In each of us are places where we have never gone. Only by pressing the limits do you ever find them. Belief in yourself, belief in your abilities, will override fear almost every time. The only thing we are afraid of is what we are capable of accomplishing. You are the only person on earth who can use your ability. Do not judge, and you will never be mistaken. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by dragging day, in all the thousand small uncaring ways. Ask yourself, have you been kind today? Make kindness your daily modus operandi and change your world. The best way to escape from a problem is to solve it. You make the world a better place by making yourself a better person. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. The day you stop crying on your misfortune is the day you will be free. We need to learn to set our course by the stars, not by the lights of every passing ship. A good plan today is better than a great plan tomorrow. Procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Contentment is not the fulfillment of what you want, but the realization of how much you already have. Life can either be accepted or changed. If it is not accepted, it must be changed. If it cannot be changed, then it must be accepted. If your only goal is to become rich, you will never achieve it. There is no better time than right now to be happy. Nothing happens until I make it happen. Life is to be lived. If you have to support yourself, you had bloody well better find some way that is going to be interesting. And you don't do that by sitting around wondering about yourself. The tighter you squeeze, the less you have. Put your future in good hands, your own. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures, so I did 10 times more work. If you want to make good use of your time, you've got to know what's most important, and then give it all you've got. The thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief in a thing makes it happen. The problem is not that there are problems. The problem is expecting otherwise and thinking that having problems is a problem. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. Take chances. Make mistakes. That's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail in order to practice being brave. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Happiness doesn't depend on what we have, but it does depend on how we feel toward what we have. We can be happy with little and miserable with much. Remember, no matter where you go, there you are. The first principle of success is desire, knowing what you want. Desire is the planting of the seed. Don't be afraid to give up the good, to go for the great. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you're ready or not, to put this plan into action. There is only one you. Don't you dare change just because you're outnumbered. He who has achieved success has worked well, laughed often, and loved much. Perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after another. The difference in winning and losing is most often not quitting. Man is born to live, not to prepare for life. When you fight something, you're tied to it forever. As long as you're fighting it, you're giving it power. The difference between a boss and a leader. A boss says go. A leader says, let's go. A man may fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else. One thing we can do is make the choice to view the world in a healthy way. We can choose to see the world as safe, with only moments of danger, rather than seeing the world as dangerous, with only moments of safety. The beauty of all things lies in your ability to appreciate them. I've learned that everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it. It may not be your fault for being down, but it's got to be your fault for not getting up.